and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Now, as we talk polygons, we know polygons have to be at least 3 sides. They have to be straight sides. They have to be closed figures. And a triangle is a polygon. Now, we're talking about classifying triangles. Explaining triangles. How are triangles triangles? How do you tell what kind of triangle it is? Well, there are 2 ways you classify triangles. One by their sides and one by their angles. So when we have assignments that say, hey, what kind of triangle is this? You're going to be able to say, well, it's a scalene, obtuse, or whatever it is. One by their sides, one by their angles. So you must know that. You have the paper that already has this filled in. You're going to keep in your green folder because it's the notes you're going to want to use. But if we're categorizing by their sides, it can either be an equilateral triangle, an isosceles triangle, and a scalene triangle. Every triangle can be described 2 ways. So if they say, what kind of triangle is this? You might say, it's an acute equilateral triangle. An acute equilateral triangle. So when I ask what kind of triangle it is, you're going to have to tell me both, by the sides and by the angles. This is by the sides. An equilateral triangle has how many congruent sides? 3. Here's our picture. An equilateral triangle has 3 congruent sides. 3 congruent sides. An isosceles triangle has at least how many?
2.
2 congruent sides. Now, I say at least because for a very specific reason. Many years ago, on a star question, it showed an equilateral triangle, and it asked, what are all the ways you can describe this triangle? Well, or it showed an equilateral triangle, asked how you can describe it. Well, you can also describe it as an isosceles triangle. Now, they never told us that you could do that. So every equilateral triangle is also an isosceles triangle. So that's why it says at least. So I never taught it that way until that question came up. And boy, I threw a desk through that window when I saw that question. I was so mad. So mad. It didn't go through the window because the window's stronger. So it just bounced off and hit me in the forehead. I passed out for 3 days. And a scalene triangle has how many congruent sides? 0. You can't have 1 congruent side. 0 congruent sides. 0 congruent sides. Now we'll talk about with the angles at a later time. But this is how we are going to classify them by their sides. And when we have an assignment, probably next week sometime, you'll have to classify them by their angles and their sides. Thank you for watching.
You are